Sango Sangam Namami Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Dutiyampi Sangham Sharanam Gacchami Tatiyampi Buddham Sharanam Gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami Tatiyam
मैत्री हूँ मैं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Respect to our Maba. Third, we are giving respect to our Gurus and Shramanas. That is done about the Samasana. Okay, now I am Bhikkhuni Buddhamma. I am welcoming all our chief guests. National Bhikkhuni Sangha Committee. I am welcoming all the Upasakas and Upasikas. Why we are doing? Because from all over the South India, all the representatives participated here. So I am welcoming everybody. Because why we are celebrating this International Bhikkhuni Sangha? What is the meaning of that? Is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, this Bhavan we are doing this one because Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has given us all the rights. In between, he given the women rights. Now, before given this women rights, Baba Sahib Ambedkar, before that, Bhagavan Buddha has given us all the rights for the Bhikkhunis and Upasikis to do the Dhamma Prachar, to give the teachings of the Dhamma to all over the country people to get the peace and everything. Then in that, we are celebrating what Baba Suriji and Maitriji and Sumedha Pandeyji given all the things regarding this Navanyana Buddhist Award. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar written in Buddha in this Dhamma. So I taken the training, they given me the training in all over India. They taken me to the this Uttarakhand, how to teach the Dhamma to our Upasakas, Upasikis. So Bhagavan Buddha has given a lot of things to us. He sat under the Bodhi tree, he got the enlightenment, so he has given us, he is a great philosopher.
I will just give a brief introduction of it. First of all, I welcome all the guests present on this stage, and I will start my small introduction about it. Actually, the Bhikkhuni Sangha Day, it is the formation of Bhikkhuni Sangha at the time of Buddha, when the first Bhikkhuni and Sangha Nahika, Mahaprajapati Gautami, she went to Vaishali with 500 Sakya women in robes. The Sangha was accepted, they were accepted as the Sangha by the Tathagata Buddha, and it was the full moon day of Kartik, and that day is the formation day of Bhikkhuni Sangha. Actually, in India, it was started 10 years before that we can say. In India, we are celebrating this from 10 years. 2014, we celebrated this in Nagpur, Maharashtra, in very local area in a Bhikkhuni Vihar, Bhikkhuni Shobhita Vihar, and that was a new thing for everyone. Even we were not knowing about it, but internationally this Sangha Day was already celebrated. We got to know this when we attended the Satya Gita conferences in Thailand in 2011, and from that time we decided that we'll also celebrate it in India. So 2014 it was the first celebration in Nagpur. From that year, every year in Nagpur in different small viharas, we were celebrating it, and only except the period of Corona, we were not able to do it. But from that time, we are celebrating, and in 2022, we made it a national conference, national celebration. So we invited all the people, the Upasaka and Upasikas and Bhikkhunis from all over India, and it was celebrated at Diksha Bhumi because we say that that is the revolutionary place where Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has revived Buddhism, and because of him, we all, the women, dare to take these roles and do our work with dignity and equality. We got it from him because of the Constitution of India, and also because he embraced Buddhism in 1956 with more than 5 lakhs people. So we started it at Diksha Bhumi, the first National Bhikkhuni Sangha Day celebration. And it was a great success. More than 500 people from all over India and more than 100 bhikkhunis were present there. Even few bhikkhus were also present there. And it was a grand success. And we discussed many issues regarding the promotion of Buddha's teachings, how it can be done, and what are the success rate of the bhikkhunis, how they are working in India, and how they can move forward to take the Buddha's teaching all over India. Then in 2023, we celebrated it in Mumbai, New Mumbai, Vashi, and it was the International Bhikkhuni Sangha Day. I say it as International Bhikkhuni Sangha Day as no one from foreign were personally present, physically present in the celebration, but they have sent the papers to us and the best wishes which we have presented during the sessions. So because of that, we said that it was an International Bhikkhuni Sangha Day, and that was also a grand success because more than 800 people were present in that program. And in 2022 only, we had decided that because of this program, introducing Mahaprajapati Gautami, the first Bhikkhuni and Sanganayika, and the Bhikkhunis' identity to the whole India, because people are unaware. They have seen bhikkhus in more numbers, but the number of bhikkhunis are very less. And what is the role of bhikkhunis by going to the women, the SC women and all the downtrodden women who want to know about the Buddha's teaching, because they follow Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, we follow Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. So through them, we as a women, the bhikkhuni as a women, it's very easy for us to reach the women, the 50% of the population of India, and listen to them and give them what they want, what how Buddha's teachings can help them to move forward in their life very peacefully. And I got this idea of these conferences because if we were not being a part of the Satya Gita conference, we would have not known about this thing. So this such kind of conferences are very necessary so that the message should reach the people. So from the Satyadita conference, the Bhikkhuni Sangha got to know, the India Bhikkhuni Sangha got to know, and from that time we thought that such kind of conferences we need in India. So this is, actually we are not living here, but it is the 10th Bhikkhuni Sangha Day. In India we are celebrating it. And we have, for the Bhikkhunis, as most of the, we can say, there is a gender issue. We can say, because they know only Bhikkhu and people don't understand that women can also come in robes. So, and they are not women after taking robes. Even the Bhikkhus are not men after taking robes. They become the human being. We say everyone are human being, but they are identified as male and female. But when Buddha gives the teachings, he wiped off the gender discrimination between Bhikkhu and Bhikkhunis. So all of them are without hair, all of them are having the same robes. So when Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni sit together, no one can differentiate between them who is male and who is female. So this teachings of Buddha just is moving forward, and therefore we say that we have kept the logo for Bhikkhunis to make the Bhikkhunis understand that they are not women now. They have moved forward. So we gave a tagline for them, a journey of transformation from womanhood to sentient being. This motto every Bhikkhuni has to have, and we have to move on that path to become a sentient being without thinking that I am a woman and I cannot do this or I cannot do this. Everyone as a human being, as a sentient being, it's a long journey for sentient to become a sentient being, but at least as a human being, without thinking that they are women, we have to move forward and do whatever Buddha has given us the responsibility to take the Dhamma to each and every people. And thanks to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar to introduce us to the Buddha so that we can live in equality, in peace, and we can get justice through all the teachings of Buddha and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. I again welcome you all, because we will be having the panel discussion here with the different
collaboration with the Ambedkar Research Institute in Bangalore. I come here to celebrate the International Bhikkhuni Day. In Vietnam, we also celebrated the International Bhikkhuni Day just last week. In my temple, we invited the nuns from other sects also to come and celebrate with us. As you know, Vietnam is, we can say it is a Buddhist country, and we have three sects. We have Mahayana sect, Theravada sect, and the Mendicant, which is a local Vietnamese sect. And now in Vietnam we have 54,000 monks and nuns, and with more than 18,000 Buddhist temples around the country. And we also have the all Vietnam Bhikkhuni Sangha. And we also have the Bhikkhuni National Day, which is celebrated in February every year. And each province will be the host for the whole country. For example, next year, 2025, Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, will be the host. And the nuns from 63 provinces will send delegates to celebrate. We also have the national seminar, and we also have many activities like exhibition and discussions, etc. Also charity activities to commemorate the Mahapajapati Gautami Mahatheri and Arahant Theri's Bhikkhunis from the Buddha's time until today. We always have a very close relation with the Bhikkhuni Sangha. I remember in 2012, when I finished my PhD degree from Delhi University, I came to Vietnam Mahapajapati Nandari in Vesely to organize the International Theravada Bhikkhuni and Samaneri ordination. At that ordination, we had also some candidates from Nagpur and from Hyderabad to come to get full ordination. And after the ordination, all the nuns stayed in Mahapajapati Vietnamese nunnery in Vesely for 3 months to be trained in the Dhamma and in the Vinaya. After that, we together participated in the International Pali Tipitaka chanting in Bodh Gaya for 10 days. And after the Pali chanting, we went to the holy places. We attended the 10-day Vipassana course, and in January of 2013, we host the 13th International Sakkatita Buddhist Women Conference. I remember at the time I met Bhikkhuni Suniti, met with many other Bhikkhunis from Nagpur. They told me that the Rain Retreat of Vasa 2012, when they came and stayed together in the Vietnamese nunnery in Vesely, it was very fruitful because every day the Bhikkhunis will have the same activity. In the morning, we get up early, we chant in Pali together, we do meditation together, and after breakfast, we have the morning class, and at lunch we go for Pindapat in the temple, and in the afternoon again we have classes in Dhamma and Vinaya. In the evening, we have again chanting and meditation and discussion. For 3 months, we studied together. The Bhikkhunis learned a lot from the senior Bhikkhunis and from the senior Bhikkhus also. We invited the Bhikkhus from the Thai temple, from Sri Lankan temples, from Cambodian temple, from Bangladesh temple to come and help us. I think that we Bhikkhunis should cooperate very closely with the Bhikkhu Sangha. For example, when I came here to attend this international seminar, Venerable Suniti let me stay in the Mahabodhi Buddha Vihara. When I met Bhante Uttaraka, the director of the college there, he said that he didn't know anything about this event. If he knows, he can help better. So I think that there is a lack of cooperation between the Bhikkhu and the Bhikkhuni Sangha. I suggest that Bhikkhuni Suniti and other Bhikkhunis, you should come and pay respect and learn more and get support from the Bhikkhu Sangha because they are very compassionate. Especially here in Bangalore, the Bhikkhus are very open-minded, very well educated. They are always available there to help us. Why don't we come and invite them to come here to celebrate together with us for this occasion? This is a very auspicious occasion to remember the contribution of our first Bhikkhuni, the Venerable Mahapajapati Gautami Theri, the first Arahant Theri in the world, and also many other Bhikkhunis. So, if we ask permission and instruction and cooperation from the Bhikkhu Sangha and from the community of Upasaka and Upasikas, we come together, we will have a very strong force to propagate Buddhism. So I think that on this International Bhikkhuni Day, I suggest that we Bhikkhunis should focus on our own practice to make ourselves stronger and also to make the Bhikkhuni Sangha stronger. At first, we need to have very good education in theory and in practice. I saw in Bangalore and in Nagpur, you have many educational courses for monastic, like certificate and diploma course, BA course, MA course, etc. And in India, I know that the fee for education is very affordable. For example, myself, when I did my MA, MPhil and PhD from Delhi University, the schooling fee is very, very cheap in comparison with other education. So I sent my students to India to study. Now I have 2 students studying in Nalanda Mahavihara University, and also some of my students are studying in Sri Lanka and Myanmar. But you see the fee in Sri Lanka is very high, but here the fee is good, and library, education, and teacher staff is very good. So if the Bhikkhunis here, you don't go to school, you don't learn the Vinaya and Dhamma, when you have the opportunity, but you don't take the advantage to perfect yourself, so it is a very wasteful. I hope that the senior Bhikkhunis will encourage the younger generation, especially the Samaneri young Bhikkhunis. They should enroll in the courses at college and university to improve their knowledge so that they can share the Dhamma to the lay people. So if we are not expert in the Dhamma, how can we guide the lay people? Because in the Buddhist community, we have Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasika, Upasaka. The duty of the lay community is to be support, the material support to the monastic sangha. We offer the robes, the food, the medicine, and the accommodation to the sangha. And on the contrary, the sangha should be advised, should give us instruction to the lay community how to meditate, how to understand the Dhammas, the Buddha's teaching, and how to live peacefully and harmoniously. So in Nagpur, I visited Nagpur in 2013, 11 years ago. I see that only 1 or 2 Bhikkhuni staying in one vihara, and very few activities conducted by the Bhikkhunis. You just stay in the temple and chanting, and sometimes go to the lay people for Sangha. But you don't have the Dhamma classes for the lay people. For example, you call the people to come on Sunday, and then you teach them some Dhammapada verse. You tell them some stories, Jataka stories, or stories about the bhikkhus, the bhikkhunis, about Venerable Gotami, about Venerable Upalavana, Venerable Yasodhara, etc. This is very inspiring, and it can forge the very good relationship between the monastics and the lay people. And I think that we should have some more active social activity. Like in my temple, we have summer camp for children in our nunnery. Every summer, in June or in July, we will assemble about 100 or 200 children, boys and girls. They will come and stay in the temple for 7 days or 10 days. All are free of cost. And then we will teach them many things: the Dhamma, the Buddhist songs, meditation, and others outside and inside activities, and also the counseling, and also the instruction for their studies, how to behave with the parents, how to behave with friends, etc. So after 10 days, staying with the nuns and listening from the nuns, and we live together every day. We take care of their food and their activities. We have a very good relationship. And after 10 days, they come back and become like return home. So I think that it is not difficult at all, because when we organize, we will have, if we don't have budget, we can have a project. Oh, we need this much money to buy food, this much money to buy notebooks, this much money to invite teachers from outside. You can inform to the upasikas, and they can contribute. The money doesn't matter. What matters is how to have a good program, how to unite many good people from the society. Because even the lay community, we have many good teachers who is always willing to go volunteer, come and teach and support without any payment. Only the condition is that we have a good activity, a good program. So, and we also can do charity, because bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, we don't have money, but we have the flag, we have the Buddhist flag, because we are pure in the conduct. What we do is only for the benefit of many. So you know that now in Vietnam we have the disaster, we have the flood, we have the very large hurricane, and more than thousands of people died, and 100,000 of houses corrupted. And you see, monks and nuns, they raise funds, and then together with the lay people from the south, we went to many groups, go to the north with the food and with the gloves and with the money to help the people. So what we need is the spirituality, the good intention and good cooperation. We can connect and unite people to do in the same good cause. So I hope that in the future, the Indian bhikkhunis will be more active, will be more united, so that will be more well educated, so that we can do many good things to serve the society and to propagate the Dharma. And I hope that in the future, when we come again, you will see a bigger assembly with more bhikkhus, more bhikkhunis, more upasikas. So thank you so much. So on behalf of the Vietnamese Bhikkhuni Theravada Sangha, I would like to wish the Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha will develop fully and steadily and strongly, so that there are more and more bhikkhunis and samaneris who can do better for the good of the society and for the good of the Dhamma Sasana. May the Buddha Sasana thrive more and more in this world. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Bhikkhuni Vividhamma.
चरत बिकवे चारिकं बहुजन हिताय बहुजन सुखाय लोकानुकंपाय हत्ताय हिताय सुखाय सर्वजनमनुस्सानं देशे तभिकवे धम्मम् आदिकल्याणं मध्ये कल्याणं पर्योसानं कल्याणम् सातं संयजनं केवलपरिपूर्णं परिशुद्धं ब्रह्मचर्यं प्रकाशेत अट्टी सत्यपुग्गल बिकवे संघम्
विनय विज्ञानंबु विश्वासं भिक्खु संगम निर्मल निग्रह नियति निष्कामं प्रतिभा संस्कार में ई बौद्ध मतम ई मत में मानव मनोनेत्रम ई मत में गोकुल विश्वनेत्रम। जय भीम जय भीम। कर्नाटक ಪುರ ಜನಗಳಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು ಸ್ವತಃ ಮದರ್ ಟಂಗ್ ತೆಲುಗು. ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕನಲ್ಲೇ ಬಹಳ ತೆಲುಗು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತುಂಟು ತಮಿಳು ಜಾತಿಗಳು ತಮಿಳು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯೇ? ಹೌದು, ಅವರು ಹೋರಾಟದಿಂದ ಅವರು LTT ಪ್ರಭಾಕರದಿಂದ ವಿಶ್ವನಲ್ಲೇ ತಮಿಳು ಜಾತಿಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಉಂಟಂತೂ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. मैं थोड़ा कन्नड़ा बात करता है. मैं असली हृदय से जो बोलना है मैं बोलना सकता है, क्योंकि मैं भारत का भाषागण थोड़ा तमिल मालूम है और कन्नड़ा मालूम है और दक्षिण भारत का भाषा थोड़ा मालूम है. मैं ये भिक्खु संघ को आया, मेरे को ये बहुत अवकाश मेरे को अपना भिक्खुनी बनते लोग मेरे को दिया. मेरे को बहुत अच्छी है. यही है 23 में मैं एक बार अमेरिका गया. अमेरिका में वाशिंगटन में बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर स्टैचू बड़ा बनाया. बड़ा बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर का उधर बहुत लोग है. मैं उधर गया, बहुत बारिश है. बारिश में बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर का तेज वो वाशिंगटन में बहुत प्रकाश हो गया. मेरे को अच्छा मानता हूँ बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर. एक बार बौद्ध धर्म को भगवान बुद्ध मरने का बाद पूरा भूमि के अंदर फिनिश कर दिया. दूसरा बार आया बड़ा महाराज अशोकन आया. अशोकन तलवार से ये दुनिया में बौद्ध धर्म को, विकास को, तेजस को, बहुत देश को परिचय किया. वेरी ग्रेट अशोका. उसका बाद और एक बार बौद्ध धर्म को खोद करके पूरा मिट्टी का अंदर ये कर दिया, समाधि कर दिया. एक ही और आया, एक ही रतन बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर. बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर नहीं तो बौद्ध धर्म पूरा भूमि के अंदर रहेगा, मेरा विश्वास है. वो पढ़ दिया. कितना पाठ पढ़ा, कितना पढ़ा है. कार्ल मार्क्स, दुनिया में कार्ल मार्क्स पढ़ा है, इससे और ज़्यादा बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर पढ़ा है. बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर ये हिंदू धर्म में पूरा ये हिंदू धर्म अच्छी नहीं है, मेरे को ऐसा कर दिया बोल के बहुत दुख किया. मगर अंतर से कौन सा धर्म को हम लोग स्वीकार करना बोल के बौद्ध धर्म में आया. बहुत बढ़िया है. मगर बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर एक धर्म को नहीं आता है तो दुनिया में ये धर्म पूरा फिनिश होता है। ये बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर वचन पढ़ के अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा दुनिया पूरा विकास हो रहा है। ये भारत में बाबा को ज़्यादा नहीं दे सकता है रिस्पेक्ट, मगर पूरा दुनिया देखा है ये बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर। बुद्ध का तरह अनंत महाज्ञानी कौन है बोले से एक ही बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर एक ही है। मैं कर्नाटका में थोड़ा पढ़ा है। कर्नाटका में श्री कृष्ण देवराया बौद्ध धर्म को अध्ययन किया। श्री कृष्ण देवराया ये कर्नाटका, दक्षिण भारत और महाराष्ट्र और उड़ीसा ये पूरा पालन करके धर्म ही बताया, मगर वो ब्राह्मण का हवस छोड़ के अंतर बौद्ध धर्म को छुपा करके प्यार को बढ़ाया। ये बहुत बढ़िया है। ये श्रीलंका भाषा में श्री कृष्ण देवराय का इतिहास बहुत बढ़िया है। इधर से तेलुगु लोग को त्रिलिंग देश बोलता है। उसी टाइम में त्रिलिंग देश, ये त्रिलिंग देश में नागा जाति बोलता है। नागा जाति वो नाग का अशोकन पुत्र महेंद्र श्रीलंका आने के टाइम में वो श्रीलंका को रास्ता बनाया। वो महेंद्र सेठ, यह महेंद्र का ब्रिज है। बाद में उनका नाम अलग अलग हो गया। ये देश का धर्म, ये मूल धर्म वो जम्बू द्वीप का पहले गोंडवार द्वीप। देखो ये इधरी का नाम द्वीप ऐसा आवाज आ रहा है, क्या है द्वीप? ये द्वीप बोलने से लाइट है, एशियन लाइट। ये जम्बू द्वीप, ये गोंडवार द्वीप, यही का मूलवासी लोग है। उनका रतन बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर। पहले ये लोग पूरा राजा का पुत्र लोग है, आर्य का पहले ये लोग पालन किया। गणतंत्र राज और नव प्रजास्वाम्यम आल्सो पहले इधरी हुआ। आर्यवर्तन का आफ्टर पूरा ये धर्म को दबाया। ये हिंदू धर्म असली मूल धर्म जैन, बौद्ध एंड शैव परंपरा धर्म नाम बदला हो करके हिंदू धर्म नाम पे ऐसा आ गया। सिंधु धर्म ऐसा नाम बदला होके हिंदू धर्म हो गया। बहुत बढ़िया है। इधरी कर्नाटका में एक स्वामी है, और स्वामी नाम एक ही स्वामी है, कैस्ट नो ये हल आर इक्वल बोल के एक आदमी है, नारायण गुरु नो इधर ही क्या सम स्वामी है वो बहुत।
I am very happy to be part of this function as the organizers approached me. As I am the director of Dr. Baba Saheb Research Institute, Karnataka, they approached me and asked us, saying that they are having the function of world Bhikkhunis here in our Ambedkar Bhavan. I was very happy, and as the instructions from the government and after discussing with the representatives of this group, we are coordinating this function for 2 days. This interaction is going on, and as I had the discussions with the representatives, they have taken back 2 days seminars having multi-level and different level of talks on Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar works and his Buddhism, as well as the Lord Buddha's Buddhism and the different opinion regarding this. After having the discussions with Bhikkhuni, Buddhamma and all the dignitaries who are here, I feel proud to be here. The thing is, we read in books while we are students. We used to read about Lord Buddha, Buddhism, Lord Ashoka, King Ashoka, Samrat Ashoka. And when Samrat Ashoka in Kalinga War, he converted to Buddhism and he sent his son and daughter, that is Mahendra and Sangamitra, to the Sri Lanka, and they propagated the religion, and after that the Buddhism got renewal, as our Bhikkhuni rightly told. 2-3 times Buddhism got regeneration or rebirth here. Once when Lord Buddha was there through his teachings, it got rebirth. After that Lord Samrat Ashoka, after that our Babasaheb Ambedkar. See, every religion teaches the good thing, and regarding the path to the reaching the salvation. But some fundamentalists and some people make misuse of every religion and take in another way and give the bad opinion about any religion in the world. Here I want to quote Muhammad Iqbal's famous song, मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में पैर रखना, हिंदी है हम वतन है हिंदुस्तान हमारा. Say in Muhammad Iqbal, who wrote सारे जहाँ से अच्छा, in his this one song he tells, no religion in the world teaches bad things, illegal, immoral, like that. Okay, every religion is for the goodness, good living, like good lifestyle, like that. But we have to respect every religion, we have to act accordingly, we have to follow the path of righteousness, and these all things make us peaceful life and be in a right path always. I am very happy to be part of this. As I am representing the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Research Institute, Karnataka, our institute works for the the teachings and the works of Dr. Babasaheb, and we have many type of evaluation works for the department and related activities. We are here for the cooperation of this one. Anything is there, we are always with you. I am very proud and honored to be part of this holy function, and I am very grateful for this one. I am very grateful to the organizers for inviting me and sharing my views with you. Thank you. Thanks for that. Jai Bhim.
Thank you, sir. Now, I may invite Mr. Limbari, Managing Trustee and Chairman and Chief Executive of the School of Buddhist Philosophy Foundation, Bengaluru, to give us a speech. Welcome, sir.
Venerable Bhikkhuni International Sangha, respected people and monks. If I see the monks, there are very small monks and elder monks. Is very happy to see these small monks and elder monks. They will get the teaching and the blessing from the elder monks. I am representing Buddhist Society of India, Karnataka state. My name is Ramji Limbare. Now, here, the purpose of calling this conference or Bhikkhuni Sangha Parishada is to propagate the Dhamma. बुद्ध का जो धम्म है उसका संदेश लेकर आए हैं, और बुद्ध का जो संदेश हमको बुद्ध ने दिया वो क्या संदेश है? पहला तो यह है, बुद्ध ने कहा सब पापस आक्रणम कुशल स उपसंपदा सचित्त पर्योदपनम एतं बुद्धानुशासनम। बुद्ध ने कहा कि जो भी बुराइयां है उसको छोड़ दो, लीव इट ऑल एविल्स फ्रॉम योर माइंड। जो आपने मन में जो कुछ बुराइयां है उसको छोड़ो, ये बुद्ध ने सिखाया। फिर हमारे जो दिमाग में व्हाट इज एविल्स इन द माइंड, जो है हमारे मन में जो राग है, जो द्वेष है, जो मोह है, उसको छोड़ना है। तभी तो हम जो धर्म को स्वीकार किया है ऐसा हम मानते हैं। तो धम्मपद में एक गाथा भी है, प्रथम गाथा है, आपने सुना है। देयर इज वन गाथा इन द धम्मपदा, द फर्स्ट गाथा, दैट इज मनोपुब्बांग धम्म मनोसेट मनोमया मनसा से पदुत्थेन भासति वा करोति वा। ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದವರು ಬಹಳ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ನೋಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಬಿಗ್ ಹಾಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯೂ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್. ಸಿ when there is the path shown by the Buddha, very few people go on the path. Now this is a big hall, very few people have come because they know the path of the Buddha. बुद्धा का जो धम्म है वो जानने के लिए यहाँ आप सब बैठे हैं। तो मैं अभी आपको कहना चाहता हूँ, दैट इज द माइंड क्रिएशन, एवरीथिंग इज द माइंड क्रिएशन, व्हाट Buddha has told in the first gatha of the Dhammapada. How the mind becomes pradushit, how impure, how the mind becomes impure. That is the main important. Now, there is in the air pollution will be there. You know that is pollution, air pollution is due to all vehicles, smoke, and they build the construction, the dust and all those things. You know, that is the air pollution. जो हवा जो दूषित होती है, वो जो वाहन चलते हैं ना, उसका जो धुआं है, और कोई कंस्ट्रक्शन काम चलता है, और कोई दूसरा ऐसे ऐसे अनेक चीज़ों से यह हवा प्रदूषित होती है। तो ऐसा ही जो पानी है, वाट एवर वी टेक द वाटर, ड्रिंकिंग वाटर, वो भी प्रदूषित होता है। हमारा जो फूड, वाट एवर वी आर टेकिंग फूड ऑल्सो, दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट गुड, दैट इज ऑल्सो इम्प्योर फूड और प्रदूषित वी कैन से। बट द माइंड, हमारा जो मन है वो प्रदूषित 3 कारणों से ही होता है ना, रागा द्वेषा मोह। ये 3 कारणों से जब इससे हमारा प्रदूषण होता है तो हमारे मन में अच्छा जो संस्कार आना है, अच्छा हमारे विचार आना है, तो हमारा माइंड प्योर रखना पड़ता है। अब इम्प्योर माइंड से कैसा ये होता है हमारा, हाउ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इम्प्योर माइंड, हाउ दिस रागा द्वेष एंड मोह, दिस हेट्रेडनेस, इफ हेट्रेडनेस कम्स इन द माइंड, व्हाट विल हैपन? यू नो, आवर ग्रेट लीडर्स and many of the people have been shot, their head have been cut thrown because the hatredness in the mind. Because of the hatred only, people have been shot, they have been killed. And if you come to the lobha or delusion, that is many people with this delusion, they have gone to the jails. That I don't want to tell each and every in detail. So what I mean to tell is, if the mind is impure, our action will be impure, and our speech will be also be impure. If the mind is pure, action will be pure, and our speech will be pure. So in this regard, so many things are there connected with these 3 things. So many things. If you थिंक रियली इन आवर लाइफ, हमारे जीवन में आप इसको प्रत्यक्ष उतारते हैं तो बहुत से सारे चीज़ें हमको यहाँ से मिलती है। हम जो कह रहे हैं इट इज़ नॉट फ्रॉम द माई माइंड, इट इज़ फ्रॉम द माइंड ऑफ अ बुद्धा, नॉट टेलिंग फ्रॉम माई माइंड। दूसरी बात जो है, हम बुद्धा का जो ये धर्म है हम इसको क्यों मानते हैं? बिकॉज बुद्धा हैज टोल्ड फॉर द सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन, आप अपने को समझ लो, यही बुद्धा का धर्म है। दूसरे धर्म में क्या है? व्हाट इज देयर इन द अदर रिलीजन? पीपल think of the Atma, soul. In the world, it is only the Buddha religion which do not believe in the Atma. What is Atma? Everybody knows that some kind of thing is there. It has been created whole universe. It has created everything. Sun, moon, earth, water, air, everything is created by that is Atma and Paramatma. That is, and that Atma is Shashwat. That is called Shashwat वाद, इसको आप शाश्वतवाद कहते हैं। और जो बुद्ध का जो है अनात्मवाद, अनात्मवाद, नथिंग इज परमानेंट, एवरीथिंग इज वैनिशेबल। That is the Buddha has told. The other people say Atma is permanent, it cannot be destroyed. Buddha never said there is no existence of the Atma and it cannot be a permanent one. That is why he has told Parivartanshil, transfers, it transfers. I am, you are, everybody were in the small child, we are grown up, again we will go reach at the stage of 80 or 90, then we will die. So this is called anatvad. There is formation, there is death also. So there is no permanent. This is the anatvad. Now others says shashvatvad. This is, I have told about the Atman. One more thing, another view is there, another view. What is that another view? That view is akriyavad. That means whatever you do good, whatever you do bad, nothing will happen. वो जो आप अच्छा काम करते हैं, कुछ बुरा काम करते हैं, उसका जो परिणाम होता है वो कुछ भी नहीं होता। ऐसा भी एक वाद है। भगवान बुद्ध ने कहा आप जो दान देते हैं ना उसका फल मिलता है, लेकिन वो बोलते हैं कुछ माता पिता की सेवा करना, कुछ इफ़ यू गिव डोनेट और इफ यू सर्व योर फादर एंड मदर और यू डू गुड थिंग्स, नथिंग विल हैपन। दिस इज ऑल्सो वन काइंड ऑफ व्यू। Another, this is called akriyava. One more view is there, that is fatalism. जो अपने भाग्य में लिखा है वही होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा। ये भी तो हम अभी हमारे जो भारत देश में जो लोग हैं वो अपने समझते हैं अरे भाई हमारे जो भाग्य में जो है वही होगा, क्या करना। ये भी एक व्यू है। सो ये सभी जो व्यू है ना, दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू रीच फाइनल आवर हैप्पीनेस। एक्चुअली व्हाट इज इन आवर लाइफ, व्हाट वी रिक्वायर? वी रिक्वायर ओनली टू थिंग्स। वन थिंग वी शुड लिव हैप्पीली, सेकंड थिंग वी शुड डाई हैप्पीली। आप जब रहते हैं तब तक आप खुश रहो, जब आप मरते दम तक भी आप खुश रहो और मरते समय भी आप खुशी से मरो। इफ यू डाई इन द सारो और पेनफुल देन यू विल नॉट रीच गुडहुड। सो इसके लिए बुद्ध का एक धम्मपद में गाथा है, बहुम वे शरणम यंती पब्बतानि वनानि च आरामरुक्ष चेतियानि ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಭಯಜಿತ. ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಜನರು ಗುಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನದಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಗಿಡ ಮರ ವನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಫಿಯರ್ इन द माइंड. फियर ऑफ व्हाट? वो कुछ तो एक शक्ति है, वो शक्ति से हमको कुछ बुरा असर होगा, कुछ अच्छा असर होगा. इसलिए वो क्या करते हैं? दे विल गो टू द फॉरेस्ट, दे विल गो टू द हिल, दे विल गो टू द सी एंड दे वर्शिप. नेतम को शरणम खेमम, नेतम को शरणम खेमम, नेतम शरणम उत्तमम. ये जो शरण आप जाते हैं ना, ये शरण ठीक नहीं है. ये बुद्ध ने कहा है, हमने नहीं कहा, हम नहीं कह रहे. यो च बुद्धंच धम्मंच संगंच शरणम गतो चत्तारि आर्य सच्चानि सम्मपन्नाय पश्यति. जो बुद्ध को शरण जाता है, धम्म को शरण जाता है और संघ को शरण जाता है, वही सच्चा मार्ग के ऊपर है. तो हमारे जीवन में हम सच्चे मार्ग पर चलेंगे, धम्म के वो मार्ग पर चलेंगे, हम हमारा जीवन सार्थक बनाएंगे, खुशी से रहेंगे. यही कहकर मैं आपसे विदा लेना चाहता हूँ. मेरा